Do you
Okay.
think Hindu is compatible with Judaism? I think Hinduism is very similar to Judaism, by the way, at least modern day Judaism. Now, I'm not an expert in Hinduism, but as someone who's been to India 3 years in a row, or probably 3 weeks at a time, I've dialogued with a few. Surprisingly, every time I speak to a Hindu, they'll give me a different rendition of Hinduism. But think about it. Okay, so in Hinduism, they have many sub gods. Apart from these sub gods, they'll have demigods also, which are like half human, half god. But they typically have one supreme god, which is quite similar to what's taught in Kabbalistic Judaism today. That we just don't have the guts to call them what they are. If you believe in demons and you believe in angels, and that angels don't have free will, it's just I think one opinion in Judaism. It's not so widely held, especially not in the Talmud. So you have a metaphysical being that has free will that could in some way war against God if it wanted to, which you essentially have is a God with a little g. Okay, now, which means any other sub god that's not necessarily subservient to the supreme God, because it could war against, I guess, from a Hindu perspective, Shiva. Um, but we call them angels, demons,
Right.
a shade, like shade them, the idea of a debuk, right? But Hindus will be like, well, they're just gods, man. And Christianity has a similar idea because what does Christianity call Satan?
It depends. Like usually Lucifer, right?
Nah, man. Christianity calls Satan the god of this world.
Oh yeah, that's Paul. He says that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same idea. You can't have a metaphysical being that could war against God, has superpowers, blah blah blah, and not say it's a god. Say no, it's a it's we could tolerate it because we call him an angel. Come on, bro. It's it's a god. From that perspective, modern day dualistic polytheistic Judaism, right? Because believing that many gods exist, not necessarily that you worship them, makes you to a certain extent a polytheist. I know, although there's a term that was invented in the 16th century for people who